everybody? Welcome back to the SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Caesar.
And today, before we get into this bottle, we just want to say, if you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. And to all the returning viewers, hey, we appreciate you so much for sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody smash the like and click that little bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video, because you never know. We may take a few months off. We may have a video next week. Roll of the dice. Who knows? But today on the bar, Caesar, what do we got on the bar?
Today, we have something that's 1 year away from being legal.
I like it. You had to generally look to go, what do we have? So that's right. Today, folks, we kind of teased it out last week in our Old Pulteney 12 video. You can check that one up here. But today, we got a discontinued bottle from their old lineup. This is the Old Pulteney 17-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Let's get to it. All right, folks, so Old Pulteney 17-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Bit of a cheat episode this week just because we have it, and well, why not? This is by all accounts something special. I've never had it. Caesar's never had it. This was a part of a little bit of a gift set 2-pack thing that I found sitting on a liquor store shelf, a little dusty, and it's a half-size bottle. Came with a bottle of 12-year, like I mentioned in the intro. This one's, I'm really excited to get into it. We both love the Old Pulteney 12. Yep. This one has since been replaced, I believe, by the 18-year, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute, so you may light me up in the YouTube comments, but I believe that one is a sherry cask finish, if I'm not mistaken, on the 18-year. This one, I don't believe so. I think this is just their standard bottling process, barreling process. I'm not 100% sure. Again, like I said in last week's video, we're not going to get too much into the history of Old Pulteney because the Scotch for Dummies boys already did that to a great effect. I think they even had one of the brand representatives on that episode as well. So it's one of those things to where why try to top perfection? Good job, boys. And we're going to go ahead and get into this 17-year-old presented at 46%.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a little bit higher than the last one.
Yeah, the last one was 43%. This one's 46%, so a little more booze for your buck. Like I said, you can't get this one anymore. So in terms of a price point, let's just say impossible. Unless you find it sitting on a dusty liquor store shelf in a half-size bottle. I'm sure you could probably still find it. You're not going to probably find it at like a Total Wine or a Bevmo or anything, but you can probably find it online. You'll probably pay north of $200, I'm guessing, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles, the way Ace Ventura, or not Ace Ventura, Bruce Almighty says it, right?
Get out of here.
Sorry, that's my era of Jim Carrey. Thank you very much. All right, well, let's get into it. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting good things. Actually, I'm expecting great things. I hope it doesn't disappoint because I have a high expectations for this. I already like the 12. I like Old Pulteney. And I remember you were mentioning too how this is unavailable, but it was actually rated pretty good before it disappeared.
By all accounts, everybody who ever reviewed it really enjoyed it, at least the reviews that I ever saw. The nose is nice. The nose is nice and pleasant. You get a little of that floral note. But yeah, similar. You get the malty bread notes. Get a little of that vanilla caramel note going on. Probably a bourbon cask that I'm guessing in here somewhere. Or a bourbon barrel, rather. Am I crazy? Am I getting a little bit of lemon in here?
I think I'm crazy because I feel like smelling orange chicken.
Orange chicken.
Orange chicken.
You know, I had a seltzer last night that I swear on my father's grave smelled like fried chicken. And it was not a fried chicken flavored seltzer.
Yeah, this isn't a fried chicken flavor, but I'm getting some orange chicken out of this, folks. But
I mean, I guess I can get behind the citrusy orange note because, like I said, I think I'm getting lemon, but I don't know about chicken. I'm not even getting like a meaty Scotch out of this. It's pretty light. Like I'm getting some like breadcrumbs.
I'm getting some orange Beyond Meat. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I was almost about to sip, and you're gonna get spit take there.
Huh. Interesting. Ooh.
Okay.
That finish is nice. It's like it gets sweeter. Like vanilla is just coming forefront as it goes. As the palate's going away, the sweetness is coming in, which is weird. Interesting. I like it though. That's good. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite bottles I've ever had actually have that kind of like taste, I guess, where as the flavor's going away, like it gets sweeter. Like the more time you have after sipping it, it just gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. Like the Uncle Nearest, that's what it reminds me of too. Because I remember having that, drinking it, and then like the more I just breathed in regular air, the more it turned into like a super sweet like maple syrup. And I was like, how is that happening? Like, how is it going away yet getting sweeter at the same time? So it's not to the extent of Uncle Nearest. I still like Uncle Nearest more because it's like bam with the sweetness. But this is just a subtle hint. It's
And
like,
to be fair, you're a bourbon guy.
Yeah,
Like
true,
100%, you are a bourbon guy, and I'm a
Yeah.
Scotch drinker. So that's not saying you don't like this. That's just saying that your tendencies go more towards bourbon.
yeah, and this isn't as strong or sweet because it's not a bourbon, it's a Scotch. But
Yeah, it's not as punchy.
yeah, but it still has that same effect. Whereas it's going away, the vanilla is still coming, and it's like, oh, it's nice, very nice.
For me, it shares a lot of similarity in the subtleness of, or the subtlety rather, of the 12, where like you could go exploring or you could kind of let this sit and be a background whiskey, which seems weird to say about a 17-year-old whiskey. But what I will say is I'm with you on the sweet finish. Like I'm getting... Sounds really weird, but I'm getting like the frosting of a red velvet cake, like that cream
Interesting.
cheese frosting,
one.
confectious sugar.
That's a good
Like
one.
it's really not. I mean, I would think like red velvet. I usually don't go for red velvet, right? Because I think it's like almost way too sweet. But just the frosting, not the frosting in combination with the cake, just the frosting. Like you just,
Yeah.
bam, done. It's got that powdered sugar cream cheese frosting vibe going on, and I actually really dig it. This would be definitely for me like an after dinner whiskey. Like if there's no dessert being presented and you're a bad host, well, hey, I have my dessert right here in liquid form. But no, it's really nice, really subtle. I enjoy it. I was gonna say, did you put any water on it yet?
Not yet.
I'm trying to like go back to the nose and see if there's anything that kind of opened up as far as like once you take a couple of sips of it. But I'm not getting much. Again, the bready notes on this one really stand out to me. Like it tastes or it smells like fresh loaves of bread. Drop a little water on it while you're sniffing.
It kind of neutered the smell a little bit. Like it's harder to get anything out of it.
Gotcha.
Let's see what the taste is. The finish is getting finish gets a little bit more spicier,
Okay.
but so I for sure would prefer this neat, but it's not terrible with water though. It's not terrible. I prefer it neat, but it's not terrible with water.
I'm with you. A little spicier with the water. Not like a pepper bomb or anything like that, but there's a little bit of a soury, like pepper note to it, I guess. To tie it all back together with your orange chicken, there's a little bit of a sour note to it. I'm with you. Definitely neat on this one. So if I had to score this, because that's what we do here, man, I think I'm going to go 3.5. I think it's right in the middle again. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think the water did hurt it a little bit. So I'm going to ding it there because neat, I was like leaning towards a 4. I was like, this is really good. Like, even though you can't really go by it, like this is really good. But when you put the water on it, it does kind of find a chink in the armor of it, but it is still a really solid glass. If you can find one, if you can find a pour at a bar or find a bottle, I definitely still think it's worth picking up if you can get it for a reasonable price.
I was gonna say,
Again,
if you can get
I
it for a
think
reasonable price.
maybe that's a better way to rate this is instead of a score because you can't go buy it, how much would you pay for it, I guess. So
Yeah,
maybe think about that while
yeah.
you're talking through your rating, and I'll think of a price that I'd be willing to pay for this while you're talking through your review.
So I think I'm inclined to agree the 3.5 because even though I rated the other one 3.5, I rated the other one 3.5 because I had bonus points for it tasting pretty good with the water too. But this one does not get those bonus points, so it just stays at 3.5. When it comes to a price I'd pay, I'd probably pay 60 to 80 for this. No more than 80 though. I think any more than 80 I feel like would be a little bit much. But between 60 and 80, I think is what I would pay for this.
So for me, like, spoilers, we can edit. And we went ahead and looked and saw what the retail price of this bottle was. Bevmo had it listed at $130. I would find that to be a little bit salty, especially when I can get a GlenDronach 18 that is more my sentiments, more my palate, right? For about 150 on a good day. I know spirits are up and everything like that.
Or for like $30 more, you can get Highland Park 18. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
again, it depends on which way you sway and like what type of whiskeys you like, right? For me, I love sherry finish, you know that, and so it's one of those things where like GlenDronach 18 is going to be all day, every day for me.
Yeah.
But I would say if I could find this, given that it is a discontinued bottle, I would say somewhere in the ballpark of like 80 to 100 is what I would pay pretty comfortably for this. Like if I finish, my full bottle of this, because I have 2 half sizes and I was still jonesing for it and I could find it between 80 to 100 bucks, I'd sacrifice the money for that one, because I think that's a solid, fair price point for it. But I mean, spoilers, in addition to looking up the standard retail price for this, holy crap, did we see some resale prices on this. Some like $400, $529. No, don't do that. Even if this were like a $5, don't do that. Just because that's not worth it. It's never going to meet what your expectation is for that amount of money. But do us a favor, folks. Hit us up in the comments. What do you think of Old Pulteney 17-year? Have you had it? Have you not? Have you had anything similar? The 18-year, the 15-year? We'd love to hear about it. Let's start this conversation down in the comments. We love to hear you guys. Don't forget to follow us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Forgot that one in the last video. And remember, folks, you guys wanted these reviews, so let's see you watch them. We're going after that audience retention. Nonetheless, until next time, you got anything else you want to add?
Now, what about you, brother?
Stay safe, drink well. All aboard. Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.